Hey, good morning, survivors. I hope everybody's having a good morning. I wanted to hop on and go ahead and make some progress on barricading my home here. Okay, so I've got my pistol, ammo's all loaded up. Nighttime when I left off, so it's nighttime here. I'm gonna put on this. I want to check something real fast. Okay, so they have no description, I guess, for that blah blah. Let's see. Okay, so this is still a thing. So this block blah, however you pronounce it, still does not wear properly. Kind of gives you, I don't know how to describe that. My son paused his game so he can come look. Yeah. So I guess we won't worry about that. Everything else seems to wear on your character properly, but that. Okay, so let's head on out here. So I'm on my single player server. Let's see, that was the gas mask. I was gonna do a multiplayer this morning. The problem with multiplayer is because the servers are all run by players. There's always the chance that a particular server you played on before is not up and running. And so that's why I found today. Server I went on to earlier in the week, it was really nice. I think that multiplayer for the Dead Linger has the greatest chance to be kind of what I've envisioned multiplayer to be like. I'm just going to make sure there's no zombies around here immediately before I start chopping down trees. And what was cool is when I got onto the server, some folks said hi, and they said they were working on a city, and it was like, oh, okay, where are you at? Oh, my axe. Are you kidding? Oh, wait. Oh, whew. I always do that. Forget I gotta swap hands. And so when I got on there, I found out their location, went to their coordinates, and the thing that I was concerned of at first was, am I gonna be killed once I get there? And because I was a fresh spawn, I didn't care. They weren't gonna get anything. I'd lose my hammer and stuff, but I could just go somewhere else and eventually find a new hammer. And I have to tell you, that's one. Let's see how much room we got. One very cool thing about the Dead Linger is because this world that you play on is so huge that if you did, say, find a group of bandits, folks who are playing it being a bandit, all you need to do is, once you spawn back in, is go somewhere completely different, just run a completely different direction, and you potentially would never ever run into those people again, because the world is huge. And that's one thing I like about it over some other games that I've seen, is there's no worry about, saying, oh, okay, well, to gear up I got to go back to, this specific location, and if I don't get enough there, go to this location, because of that limited map. Sure, your map might be huge, but it's the same map that everybody plays on, and then everybody knows where to go in order to, gear up. And so that means at some point everybody's competing over the same resources. So with the Dead Linger being set up the way it is, that should be a very, very rare occurrence. So you might find some folks that you want to team up with, but if it turns out that's not working for you, you can just completely go a different direction. And you can set yourself up to where it's very rare that you run into other people. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, you know what, I saw people barricading on the outside. Why don't we do that? Let's take this piece of wood with me here. Let's start barricading on the outside. I'll just drop this in here for now. Oh, flashlight's weak. So that was the thing that I learned. I'll have to barricade that door. I don't want to barricade the entire garage opening here yet. But yeah, that was just one thing I noticed though on the server was, luckily for me, I didn't have to run anywhere. Now right now it's probably dark, you can't see much. I'm in the garage. I'm gonna start putting together a large sheet of plywood. I'm gonna just put it over the door. So that's what I'm gonna do with this home. Let me just tell you real quick what I plan on doing here. I'm just gonna go ahead and barricade this home because I think I really like the position of the home. I mean, it's like just overlooking quite a bit of real estate. Oh, hello. And I haven't seen where, oh, I hit the jump. Zombies have been able to climb up here. So if zombies do spawn, they'll have to spawn up on this plateau. So it kind of limits a little bit of where zombies can get to me. So that's kind of cool. Then I can just venture down and just, I mean, there's quite a bit here that I can loot and store up on food. So this is how I was going to play on the multiplayer server, because that community I found, the people were nice, and when I found their city originally, that's what they were doing, is they had each found homes essentially and were trying to oh, you know what, I did mess up. I gotta make all these 2x4s here first. But anyway, they were barricading up homes. And because there's so many homes in an area, I mean, it's just what I imagined that you should do in a zombie survival game. You know, some people get together, they can pool their resources. Each person kind of has a place that they want to barricade up as their own. And then at some point, either you could have the people who like to do the barricading, and then you have the scavengers who go and can put like all the food in a common area. I mean, to me, that's just how I imagine it should be. And that's the feeling that I was getting, was these were folks that wanted to set up a community. Okay, just rearrange in here. Craft. And craft. Alright, so the only real recipes we have right now are these 2x4s, and then make plywood sheets. That's a small one, and then it takes 8 of these 2x4s to make a large. And then that fell through me. Okay, sun's up. I can probably turn that flashlight off. Oh no, 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 no. Did you fall into my backpack? Where did you go? No, you fell into the world and disappeared. Oh, what? No. No, 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 no. I'm trying to look for it with my... Oh, dead Linger. For everything that they fix, you never fail to deliver. You know, it's... okay, so maybe just because of the way things work around here, I was seeing if maybe it fell into the house. Alright. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, you never fail to deliver. Okay, let's go chop down another tree. Okay, so community, that is something I think will definitely improve once somehow somebody can put up a dedicated server. When I played, I actually did not experience much lag. Now, everybody's experience is going to be different because of your connection to the host, and depending on that host PC, you know, there's a lot of factors that go in to having a player-run server that might not make it an optimal experience for everybody. And the thing with a dedicated server hosting is, you know, that's money you have to pay, and I just don't know if anybody's willing to put out the money right now to run dedicated servers for multiplayer. But I'm actually kind of excited now for multiplayer because the game actually has much better stability, barricading is working better, and for me, I'm just going to go ahead and shut that door because I'm going to cover it up here in a minute. I'm going to attempt to cover it up here in a minute. But now that the game actually works, and it makes me think of you know, setting up a place where you have the barricaders, scavengers, and there was somebody on the... Okay, hold on. Okay, I had to pick it up before it fell away again. And now I gotta switch to a hammer. So much to do here. Wonder if I can just kind of rearrange ever so slightly. Just trying to optimize that so I can fit more logs and 2x4s. Might be what we go with for now. But I mean, I don't know how else to describe it, but I'm pretty excited because the game, I think, is finally in a state where we can have some decent multiplayer. Now, this is the only drawback to their wonderful, wonderful placement system here of items. Okay, it counts that door as being open. But this rotation system, oh my goodness, this is so frustrating. Oh man, are you kidding me? So despite the size of this thing, I might just have to go with making a bunch of small plywood sheets. Oh, it's not gonna let me place over that door the way I want. I have to put like... Oh, it'll let me put it like that though. Gosh dang, are you kidding me? Okay, so this is the next thing we need to improve with the dead Linger is barricading itself. I mean, the way that barricading is done has got to be fixed, because it is near impossible to actually barricade something that doesn't look ridiculous. Okay, so that's better. And with luck, that's going to stay put. Oh my goodness. So that's what I'm going to do. Instead of worrying about large plywood sheets, we're going to make small plywood sheets. That saves us a little bit of wood. So let's go grab some trees here. So you get to watch base building. But this is what I wanted to do on the multiplayer server. So I'm excited for when that becomes a more realistic possibility. Folks working together to build a community and barricade up homes. Alright, let's go grab another tree. And it feels like the trees drop more wood, which is good, because I remember chopping some trees and getting like one piece of wood. Oh, okay. Gonna have to chop a lot of those. Alright, let's sprint back here. Now, if the barricading stays and sticks like it's supposed to, this would be a great improvement over what we had before. Because I remember, man, we used to try and put big bales of hay, all kinds of stuff in front of doors and windows to try and keep, you know, set those up as barricades, and the undead just crawl right over everything. Alright, so let's go ahead and make us a small, oops, craft. Oh, let me put, since I've got 4 right here. So I really think small plywood sheets are going to be the best bet. So, and I honestly think... Switch out, because I might have to put like 2. Is that close enough? Yeah, see, this was something else. Me and the nation were talking. It seems like there's almost like a barrier, like a force field is how he described it, but there's something that depending on how you place things, it doesn't let you place it exactly flush with an item. So it's going to make it really hard to make structures like freestanding type structures that's like I don't know, a room add-on something, because your pieces don't exactly match up in a nice way. So that's a challenge in itself too. Okay, let's make another one. Craft. And I just don't have the patience to get everything lined up 100% correct. But see, watch. I'm going to put this up here. Whoops. And there you go. There's some invisible force that keeps these from lining up flush. So if you were going to build a freestanding wall, that's actually going to be really difficult, even if you try doing something like that on these partially built structures. There's always going to be some kind of gap depending on how the pieces kind of overlap. You know what? Oh, there they are. They're trying to figure out how to get up to me. I know it seems almost silly to barricade something that the zombies can't get up to. But that's okay. This is my fortress, so we're going to start working on this. I don't have much food though. So once we have ourselves, a barricade, I'll actually be able to go out and start gathering food. You know, I'm wondering, let me see how this will cover up one window instead. Maybe that might be the better way to do it. Still leaves a little bit of a gap, but nothing crazy. And that might be better. Why don't I do that? Here, let's just drop you. Let's rotate. Wrong button. There we go. So the other problem here with the barricading is once you kind of have something lined up the way you want, as soon as you turn your person to face the object you were trying to line up on, it then skews how you're holding the item and kind of messes it up again. But anyway, that is 2 windows. So I guess a small plywood will be good for these smaller windows. Let's see here. And let's rotate you up. Get up just a little bit. There you go. Now what's kind of cool about the effect, once we start getting stuff up here, sometimes when you go and you watch or look at pictures and you see the folks who have barricaded, it doesn't always look perfect. Everything looks kind of askewed and stuff like that. And that definitely kind of has that illusion a little bit. Perfect. I've got enough to make one more small plywood sheet. Well, one last comment that I had about multiplayer that I wanted to share was, I think that with the dead Linger, the opportunity for the roleplay servers, like there was someone who was setting up a role-playing server on Reddit, and I missed that he was doing like a stress test, so I didn't see how that went. But it seems like the dead Linger being more of a survival game and less of the first person shooter kind of based for PvP, it seems like you have a greater opportunity to meet folks who want to play kind of in that survivalist mode and not a run out and see how many survivors that we can kill kind of atmosphere. And that's what I'm looking forward to. Okay, well that's looking okay. So that's barricaded. I would not need to barricade that window because that goes to the open empty garage. But let's go ahead. Let's get some more trees chopped down. We'll set up. We'll chop down a couple more trees, and then call that a good start. and chop. Oh, come on. Well, this thing better have about 20 pieces of wood in it. Nope. That was a deceptively large tree. Now, I was for a while really looking forward to H1Z1, put out by Sony, a big company. You know, they can get the updates and stuff pushed out. But the more that I see a lot of their development stuff, you know, they say they have an in-depth crafting, which, I mean, it's true. It'll be pretty in-depth. It's just... get one more tree. I don't know. Something about it. I don't think I like the systems where, like, you have your spaces, and if I had my one tree, and then every tree that I chop down kind of stacks in one spot. So it's like, even though your survivor has, say, 4 slots, certain things can stack to make huge stacks, and then you just open up a crafting menu, tell it to build something, and then it automatically takes those items and crafts something. I kind of like, you know, to me that seems less simulation and just more of a game mechanic. I kind of like the way the Dead Linger does it here, where it's very tedious and kind of to me, like a simulation. I'm actually having to kind of work to put something together, as tedious as that process is. And I know they said they wanted to bat around the idea of like having Rust style crafting and things like that. I think this is what they need to have here in the Dead Linger. What they need to do, though, is improve the barricade system. What would be cool is if on like Windows, and I've talked about this before, just simply kind of change how you do things here, placement in the world. Either you have a toggle option where everything will snap to invisible grids, making it easier to place things on houses or together, or leave it in the free form that you have. But that way you could have the same style of crafting and gathering and carrying things in your backpack, but then your crafting could be less frustrating, because you could just turn on your kind of like your invisible snap grid system, and then things would snap together to line up properly, so you could actually make walls or properly attach things to windows, or, you know, just have it as this is right here with that freeform system, and then you can deal with the frustration of lining everything up on your own. But I would like to see that. So don't necessarily change what you do, just improve on how it's implemented. Okay, so I'm gonna get one more small plywood sheet out of this. And part of me doesn't feel the need to barricade the windows on the second floor, because I don't know how crafty zombies are with getting up there. There we go. So again, I mean, it's not perfect, but that's why I think a snap system would be great, because then you could potentially get those spot on top of your windows. Let's see how this looks from the inside. Once you really start to get these things kind of covered up, it doesn't look like it's really blocking light. Let's turn the flashlight on. Alright, well, there's that. Well, I feel like it's barricaded. Hello. I don't know how good they are going to be at blocking light, so we still have quite a few windows to do. Well, that is our start on barricading. So yeah, the next few episodes that you see will be more of the same. We're chopping down wood, gonna barricade up some of these other areas, and then we can start scavenging for food. In fact, since this is my base of operations, let's turn the flashlight on, I don't think I'll have a problem right now storing some food here. Why don't we go ahead, drop, and drop. Do those drop out far enough? Now, let's not be too messy. There we go. Oh man, I didn't drop that. I picked it back up. And I dropped it into the world. Dang it. Shootski. Oh, fiddlesticks. That's something else I lost into the world. What would be nice though is someday they'll put doors on these cabinets so we can actually open these drawers, and maybe next time I drop something inside I can actually pick it up. Darn. Oh well, I'm gonna have to make a trip into town sooner than I thought just to get more food. But that is our first day of barricading up our home. So more to follow. Thanks for watching. Share any thoughts that you've had, personal experiences with barricading. What have you thought? How difficult is it for you? Is it just me that has a hard time with their rotation system? What system would you like to see? And in fact, you know, share those thoughts not only with us, but don't hesitate to go onto their Reddit and leave ideas too. Trying to figure out how to turn my flashlight off. But they actually do spend a lot of time on the Reddit, and I've actually gotten more. I feel like I get better, actually get a response from the devs if I post on Reddit. So if you have ideas on what would make crafting better, you should post it there. And in fact, if I haven't even posted the idea about the snap points on windows and doors, so if you want to go share that on Reddit, I'll go back up the post too, and maybe I'll go post something on Reddit for that. But there we go. We have started our home. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great week, whatever it is you're doing, and be safe, and we'll see you later.